another day for VXI Conversations. Welcome to episode 8. I'm Jamie Fournier, your host, and I'm so excited to be here once again. In our last episode, we met Mo and Glens, who shared with us their career success stories. In today's episode, we will talk to two VXI team members who will tell us just why, among the many BPO firms out there in the country, they chose to be with VXI. Let's welcome to VXI Conversations, Troy of VXI Felcre Centrale and Cess of VXI Delta. Hello, Troy. Hello, Cess.
Hi, Jamie. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you for
Hi,
being here. Hi,
Jamie.
Cess.
Hi, Jamie. Good morning.
Don't worry about that, Sess. I love your smiles, guys. I'm so happy you're here. And thank you to both of you for spending time with us so we can know more about your stories. And speaking about knowing more about your stories, can you share more about yourself first and foremost? And especially talk about your experiences in the BPO industry and in VXI specifically, starting off with Troy.
Hi, I am Troy, all the way from Zamboanga City. I am 22 years old, and I'm a previous dance instructor. I do trains festivals, like any kind of festivals, and I am also a dance trainer way back 2018, and now I'm with VXI for almost 1 year and 7 months.
Such an interesting shift in the industries you work in, Troy. I'm so excited to know more about that. What about you, Sess? Tell us about yourself and your experiences in the BPO industry and VXI.
Thank you so much, Jamie. So, hi everyone. Good morning. I'm actually Princess Micah, but I prefer that you will call me Sass. Actually was a student before I started be part of BPO. Well, just a typical student, really was looking for some sort of a money for me to get my wants and needs. When do not deny it, when you were a student, you actually would like to get something for yourself, right? You just don't really
Mhm.
want to rely to your parents or guardians. So basically, that's my background for myself. Before I started with BPO, I was a student.
Okay, so Sess, you were a student, and your main goal before was to earn money to be able to provide for yourself. And also, Troy, I said it was an interesting shift in the industry because you started out working in festivals and you were also a dance trainer, and then now you're in VXI. So let's talk about how both of you ended up working in the BPO industry before I even ask you why you chose to be with VXI. How did you end up working in this industry, Troy?
I ended up here in VXI way back March 2020. Actually, that was a caravan way back in Zamboanga City, and I see this tagline outside in their tarpaulin like VXI, passion for people. So on that day, I've like tinatak ko talaga sa isipan ko like I want to be with this company because tagline pa lang pasok na.
'Di ba? Passion for people. And we'll talk about that more later on. I kid you not, Troy. I hear that all the time whenever we have episodes there. Every guest that we have in VXI Conversations always says passion for people. So we'll discuss that later. So nakita mo yon, tatak na sa'yo. You want to be in VXI. What about you, Sess? What happened? You were a student who really wanted to earn. How did you end up in this industry out of all the industries out there? And especially, how did you end up in VXI?
That was actually a very interesting question, Jamie. Well, when I was, in college, I had this friend of mine. She was working with one of the BPO here in Davao. And that time, my curiosity actually I just want to, know more about BPO. How much are they paying people? What are you getting? Things like this and that. So basically, not only because it always pops up in my news feed in Facebook, the VXIs, sign up for, but also I have these very good friends who were working with VXI. So they really invited
Mhm.
me to be part of this very wonderful company.
And now you're both here, smiling from ear to ear. I can tell you're both really happy with how your career is going. But let's go back to the beginning of this career. Again, and now we know why you're in the BPO industry, but of all the BPO firms out there in the country, why did you decide to be with VXI, Troy?
So I decided to be with VXI based on my experience, like the first day that I got here at VXI, because they are the VXI support us from the first day that we arrived here in Davao City. They give us the accommodation, like a 1 month accommodation, and all it's for free, meals for free, and on that they like I want to be with VXI no matter what happened.
Mhm. Even on the first day, you already saw how great the company is. So thank
Yes.
you for sharing that, Troy. What about you, Sess? You mentioned you have a lot of friends who work in VXI, and you also mentioned you were seeing it pop up everywhere on social media. So why
Yeah.
did you decide to say it's VXI for me as well?
Well, aside from being so generous, this company is definitely generous, right? I can say that
Mhm.
VXI is a company where if you want to have growth with your career, this is it. This is the perfect place. You can go ahead and apply for the available positions. Now, I'm already a trainer and I'm so proud that I'm one of the leaders of the best company, not only in Davao, but nationwide. It's
Again, you're an
definitely a passion for
example.
people. Yeah.
Passion
Yeah.
for people and career progression, Sess. You're an example of that. And I think I mentioned earlier when we kicked off this episode, even in the previous episode, we had Mo and Glens who talked about their career success stories. And we see that in you, Sess. We see that in you, Troy. It's possible for everyone who wants to join VXI. Aside from passion for people, you also have career progression here because you have all that you need to be able to do that if you put in the work. Now let's go back to what Troy said earlier. Sabi mo, Troy, passion for people. You saw that tagline and you said it stood out for you. Now, as a VXI employee, Troy, what does passion for people entail?
Yeah, for me, passion for people. When every time saw that tagline, I will always remember VXI, because you know what? Based on my experience with VXI for almost 1 year and 7 months now, so in the middle of the pandemic, actually VXI didn't leave us on the edge hanging. Like they give us all the support, all of the what they can give to us, like all of our requests. Like VXI is
Mhm.
always there for us, and VXI is a very outstanding for me though because I've experienced a lot with VXI, and VXI is a very, very wonderful company for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's amazing to know that, Troy, that this company truly gives support to their employees, especially when they need it. Now, what about says to you as a VXI employee? What does passion for people mean?
Thank you so much for that very wonderful question, Jamie. So this is gonna be a quite, maybe not so long story, but when I was hired as a customer service representative handling telco chat support account, I was actually so happy because I thought that the account itself was so easy due to it was only a chat support account mindset. However, I was wrong. I admit it. Handling a telco account was so hard until you get used to it. When we were nesting, Jamie, there were a few who were not able to pass their KPIs. KPIs are the goals that you have to hit in order for you to be endorsed in production floor. Supposedly, to the other companies, they will choose to terminate people if they're not able to, hit their goal. But I was so amazed because VXI definitely show their passion for people because leaders gave chances to those who were not able to pass the parameters of nesting. They were extended.
That's nice to know. Again, you both really echo you when it comes to your experiences, you echo what you both experienced in VXI, and that's seeing that this company truly supports their employees and on its list of priorities, employees are number one. So that's amazing to know, Sess and Troy. Thank you for sharing that. And with that said, what can you say about the company culture of VXI? Troy?
So yeah, the company culture in VXI it's a very amazing. I was so amazed the culture of VXI. You know why? Because as what I mentioned earlier, that they're going to give you whatever like what you need. Like they're going to give you what you need, like in order for you to have a progress or to go to the next level or what is your goal in life. That's
Mm-hmm.
VXI is. So the management they are all good based on my experience before because way back in 2020, in the middle of a pandemic. Actually, we have nothing. We don't have any money. Like give a VXI
Mhm.
offer the office that room, and we've stayed there for almost 2 weeks, and the management give us some money just to provide our daily needs, and they give us a groceries as well just to survive.
Wow.
And then up until we have our first salary, then VXI still guide us to find an apartment to stay in.
Wow, that is support. I love that you guys were not left hanging and you were really supported through the process, especially because you moved from Zamboanga to Davao to start a career in VXI. It's amazing to know that they were holding your hand along the way of this whole transition. What about you, Cess? What can you say about the company culture of VXI?
Mm-hmm. A year actually went by. As we all know, the pandemic has hit our country and a lot more, right? I was so
Mhm.
worried that if I stopped working due to pandemic, how would I be able to give my grandmother an allowance for her medications? How would I be able to provide an allowance for my brother who was still in his first year college? How would I be able to put food on the table and all of that? However,
Mhm.
again, VXI proves its passion for people that instead of stopping its operations because of pandemic, the business was still usual and agents were provided with daily food for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Not just that, they also provided us with desserts, vitamins, and fruits
Wow.
every day. You know,
Mhm.
VXI actually made sure that we were safe in our respected hotels. Yes, you heard it right. We were living in a hotel when the pandemic hits. So how amazing is that, right? They actually
Mhm.
made sure that we were fetched safely to office from our hotels. After 2 months and a half, VXI never stopped letting us feel the passion it has for its employees. They actually
Mhm.
proposed the work from home setup, and it actually helped a thousand of representatives, not only us here in Davao, but I know for sure VXI nationwide also did that for their employees. Due to the pandemic, Jamie, we really cannot hide the fact that there were representatives who were tested positive for COVID 19. You might know some as well, right? From
Mhm.
there, VXI still did not stop showing its passion for people. They provided safety kits to those who were affected and made sure that people who worked at site would follow the company's protocol.
Safety and health first and foremost again, and passion for people. Once again, the support is there, that is clear, and this is something that's been told in many episodes here at VXI Conversations. It's good to know that, not only did VXI continue on, it didn't stop, but it also ensures that there are still so many career opportunities out there. Don't let the pandemic stop you from earning and providing for yourself and your loved ones, and that is present here in VXI Assess shared. And beyond that, they also make sure that you're safe and healthy as you do that so you can continue to earn for yourself and be successful at what you do. Now, earlier, Sess, especially for you, you mentioned that you had a lot of friends who worked in this industry and in VXI specifically, and I believe that encouraged you to work here as well, aside from seeing it for yourself. If you were no longer a VXI employee, given your experiences here in this company in VXI, would you encourage your friends to apply? Let's start off with you, Sess.
Yeah, okay. Well, the answer for that, Jamie, is 101% sure. I am not only saying this because I currently work in VXI, but I'm a living proof. The management itself, the bosses, the people you're going to be working with, you definitely will be
Hmm.
happy. So if you guys are planning to apply with VXI, that is not something you have to think of. Go for it.
Just go for it, as Sess said. What
Yeah.
about you, Troy? Would you encourage your friends?
Yeah, I'm agree with Jane because based on my experience in VXI, they truly care for their people, like
Hmm.
100%. They truly care for people. I would highly recommend VXI to work with because we are actually 16 all the way from Zamboanga City, and now we are still complete working in VXI for almost 1 year and 7 months now, and
Wow.
some of them are now trainees, trainers, um, SMEs, TLs like that. So VXI is a very outstanding company for us.
I agree. It is outstanding indeed. And especially as we jumped into these conversations, this is already episode 8. And this is just also based on my experience, Sess and Troy. I hear the same stories, and that's a good thing. I hear stories of career success, career growth, and most of all, stories of passion for people being lived by the management and by the company and by the employees themselves. So Troy and Sess, you both are living proof that having a great career is very much possible at VXI. Even in the midst of this pandemic, there is home for you here in this company. Before we wrap up today's episode, thank you once again, Troy and Sess, for joining us and sharing your respective stories. Do you have any parting message for all the listeners and viewers out there? This is open to everybody. By the way, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. What would you like to say those who have experience in the BPO industry and who are thinking of joining VXI, and also to those who don't have experience in the BPO industry and who want to work in VXI? Let's start off with Troy.
Yeah, sure. So, for me, I will strongly recommend VXI for you to have, guys, because at the tagline pa lang, patok na talaga sa akin. And then, they really true care for their people. Like, they do give more than what you need. Like,
Mhm.
the incentives, though, incentives are very, it's high. It's, yeah, I like the incentives in VXI because you can earn more, especially like if you are the breadwinner. VXI is good for you to have.
Okay. And you know, Troy, I can hear that you really mean it when you say the incentives are amazing. Endless perks is what I hear from others as well. What about you, Seth? What's your parting message to all our viewers and listeners who joined in on today's conversation?
Mm-hmm. Well, for those people who still currently doubting themselves that would I choose VXI? Would I join VXI? And all of the thinking, hey girl, hey man, as what I said earlier, go for it. This place is definitely the perfect place for you. Not only because, as what I've mentioned earlier, the bosses are very kind, the employees are very kind as well. This place can give you the growth in the career that you were looking for.
So this
Trust
is the
me.
place for you. Seth said it, Troy said it. Career progression is here. Passion for people is present. And there's so many career opportunities in this company. So, dear viewers, dear listeners, if you're interested to start a career here, to grow your career in VXI, like what Troy did and like what Seth did, then apply here at VXI right now. Do so ASAP. Those with good communication skills, English communication skills, and a graduate of at least high school, old curriculum, or senior high school are encouraged to apply. There is a place for you here. There's so many career opportunities in VXI. And for you to know more about these career openings, you can easily just go to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Just type in the keywords VXIPH on the search field. You see it right on the screen as well. And we are also accepting applications via email at careersph@vxi.com. It is a wrap for episode 8, guys. Thank you so much for joining in on this conversation. And once again, thank you to our wonderful guests from Davao. We have once again Troy and Sess. Thank you, Troy and Sess, for being with us. And we'll be back for more conversations about VXI and everything BPO. Till our next episode, this is Jamie signing off. Take care and stay safe, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Troy. Bye,
Bye.
Seth.